Hello crypto boys and ghouls, and welcome back to the channel Tales from the Cryptomancer, where we feature content on play to earn games on the blockchain such as Splinterlands. And today I wanted to go through a quick card tier list for Chaos Legion cards, what I believe are the difference makers, the carry cards for Chaos Legion, and the cards that you should be looking to target on the market when the market opens in just under 24 hours for the opening of Chaos Legion packs, and Chaos is coming to Splinterlands. So let's go into it. I've created these lists on TierMaker. I will provide a link to all of these tier making lists in the description, so you can pull these up, look at them for yourself, see what makes sense. If you agree, if you disagree, let me know in the comments below. This is my initial take on the current state of the QA test server as of yesterday evening, based on the stats that exist within there. And we're going to start with the Earth team. I'm just going to cover those that I feel are amazing values or amazing cards that will be essentially game changing for the meta or for their splinters. Let's start with Earth. Queen Mycella. I've talked about Queen Mycella before. Just really quickly, all of these tier lists are basically built upon gold level, max gold level stats. They're not really specific to bronze, silver, or diamond or above. The reason I picked gold is I think that's certainly an attainable ranking for maybe newer players, invested players that are getting into the game recently, or diamond and champion with max abilities may not be always the most kind of ubiquitous playing field for everyone. So the reason I think Queen Mycella is elite is because for 4 mana, she's going to give your entire team protect, amplify, and triage, plus do magic damage as well. So combined with an existing summoner such as Mylor, it basically combines the best of all worlds. It's going to give you extra thorn damage. It's going to give you protect if you come with a strong magic heavy team that maybe has low health on the middle to inside of your team, and it's going to heal in the back of your lineup with triage while also doing magic damage. Now, she certainly can be combined also with this obsidian just fine and provide some other great synergy. So I think for her benefit, for example, using Mylor in the Modern League will definitely be quite strong. If we also look at others here, we have Grund. Grund here is also, he is an epic at his level here. For gold max level, you have double strike with 4 melee damage, so that's 8 melee damage potentially before any buffs, like for example with inspiration and trample. So he technically could steamroll an entire team. Now, while he's not Magnor with one big attack, he certainly could chew through a team with multiple attacks, multiple tramples, and really double strike is a great ability because it allows you to damage and take out multiple enemies on the same turn. And with trample, it just makes it even more deadly. And he also has good speed and good health to go along with that. So definitely a very strong epic card. The next one is Goblin Psychic. Goblin Psychic is very strong under Obsidian because of the synergistic abilities he gets at gold level. So gold level common, he is going to provide not only a tank heal, not only 3 magic damage with Obsidian with decent health for only 6 mana, but he's also going to add the ability of Affliction, which neutralizes your opponent's tank heal, as well as Silence, which is certainly a strong counter to another Earth team with Obsidian, or perhaps Ulrich on the wild format. So a very strong card, very useful in pretty much all scenarios for a magic-based Earth team. The other Earth card I think is a great value is the Mycelic Slip Spawn here. This is a rare card, so the great thing about the my Select Slip Spawn is it's Earth's first taunt monster. It's going to also do decent magic damage. It has solid health, good speed. It's got immunity for those games with noxious fumes. It's got a force field, so it's not going to get instantly wiped out by like a recharge attack. And by the time you put 1 or 2 tank heals on this, it's going to be a very sturdy taunting tank for Obsidian or any really Earth team. So a great value here at 9 mana for the Earth team. And then you have the Regal Periton, and I want to talk about this card because this is a rare card as well. It doesn't have really any abilities per se, but if you look at its stats, with Obsidian, it's going to be doing 3 magic damage with 8 health, and it's deceptively fast, 6 speed, flight, really quite incredible when you think about potentially putting this at the tail end of your lineup to mitigate sneak attacks. It's going to be very hard for anyone to get a sneak attack on you with this at the back of your lineup. Very strong magic damage per the mana cost, as well as strong health, but it's got inherent defensive abilities with the speed and the flight that make it extremely valuable for pretty much any lineup for Earth that uses magic or even non-magic based lineups. And then last but not least, you have the Venari Scout here. Just the value on this card is quite high. It's only a 3 mana cost common card, but at the max level gold, you're getting a creature for 3 mana with 2 damage, 5 speed, and 5 health with opportunity, which is tremendous value. And then it has on top of it the Triage backline heal ability. Again, for 3 mana, this is a very cost efficient card that can be pretty much added to almost any lineup and add value for Earth. So a really good card that should see great utility on an Earth team. Let's switch to Fire. The values on Fire, we have the Tenyi Striker to start off our Fire amazing value cards that will be meta defining. The Tenyi Striker is a rare card at max level gold at 5 mana. It has 4 sneak attack damage, and similar to what we just saw on the Earth team, not only does it do its own sneak attack damage at a quite high rate, but it has dodge with 6 speed and 6 health. So putting the Tenyi Striker at the back of your Fire lineup makes for a great anti-sneak play for most scenario conditions. So a really strong card there. We look at also the Radiated Brute. The Radiated Brute for 5 mana as a common card at level 8 is really a great deal. It is a mini Phineas Rage at 5 mana cost, doing 4 melee attack damage with reach, with 5 speed and 5 health. What makes this card even stronger at gold max level is the Enrage, because once you're enraged, either through blast or when it reaches the front line, that melee damage is going to immediately bump up, as well as the speed, which makes a Radiated Brute just a beast of a card for 5 mana. You really can't do probably much better with an off tank than that for Fire. The next card I want to talk about is the Forgotten One. This is a 9 mana cost Fire card. It is an epic, so if we look at max level here for an epic at gold, you really have a very strong card for 9 mana. You have 5 melee attack damage, 2 speed, 5 shields, and 10 health. It makes it very useful because it has immunity, so noxious fumes will not affect this creature. It also has Retaliate. Retaliate with this amount of attack, as well as the shields and the health, makes this card extremely dangerous as your frontline tank, and the piercing ability ensures that all the damage that you're doing, that 5+ damage with Tarsa, is getting through any shields and maximizing its potential. If you look at, for example, in comparison, a tank that we have today in the lava, living lava, for just 2 less mana, it's really not a comparison. For 2 less mana, here you would be getting shield and rust, but nowhere near the offensive output or the shields or the health. So yes, it is a little bit more expensive than living lava, but certainly in my mind a superior option that will definitely be seen in the meta moving forward. And then last, for fire, you have Efreet Rising, which is just a beast of a card with recharge. Even though it's been a little bit nerfed since it officially rolled out at Legendary, you have 3 magic attack damage with recharge, so you're going to be doing 3x damage every other round. So 9 magic damage to the frontline tank, let's say in a standard scenario, is no joke. You can certainly protect this card to make sure it gets maximum use out of its recharge and its damage, and it also has good speed and good health on top of it for certainly reasonable mana for that damage. Even if you just average it out, let's say it's 4.5 magic damage per round at 8 mana, that's fantastic. And really, because you're doing it all at once to one single creature, it's even better deal. This is going to be a great card for fire. And if at some point in time fire ever gets like a legendary summoner that gives +1 magic, this card becomes even more powerful. You can already combine it with Jotun, so doing 9 magic damage with blast is certainly very, very strong. This card will be in the meta. Book it. Alright, for death, we have 3 amazing meta-defining cards for death, in my opinion. You have the Cursed Windeku. This card here is going to be a fantastic tank for death at 6 mana. As a rare unit, you're getting a tank heal with thorns, 2 damage, 3 speed, and 12 hearts. This is, in my opinion, essentially the replacement to the Haunted Spirit for death, but you're getting a very solid health pool for that self-heal, and then you're also getting thorns, which in many cases could be better than the Haunted Spirit's Magic Reflect, right? So a different variation or take on the Haunted Spirit perhaps, but a very strong unit. We already know how valuable the Haunted Spirit is on the death team today. This card is going to be even more effective for death moving forward. We also have the Soul Strangler. Here I think is a great card. Perhaps not on paper, you wouldn't think it, but let's just take a look at this card. It is a rare card with no abilities, but at max level gold for 3 mana, look at what you're getting. You're getting 4 archery damage with 3 speed, so that is super strong for 3 mana cost. You can drop this pretty much in any death team and get value out of this. 4 archery damage in comparison on the Earth team is a Mythica Headhunter at 8 mana cost. So yes, it's not the exact same stats, but effectively you're getting a Mythica Headhunter for 3 mana, and who wouldn't want that? This is why I think this card may be flying under the radar and is a great buy. And then we also have as our last card the Magi Necrosi. This is a 6 mana card for the death team. It is an epic card. Here for 6 mana, you're getting 4 magic attack damage with snipe, with camouflage, and also a very underrated ability of oppress. This can just If you imagine what this would do to a Lord A or a cube or anything like that, it's doing 8 magic damage to them. Now granted, it may not hit them because it has snipe, so oppress may not always come into play, but 4 magic damage to a archery or a magic unit is very effective, very strong, likely going to do significant damage to that unit, if not take it out of the game immediately. And the camouflage certainly helps its survivability. So I think this card will see great use. It'll be very effective, and 4 magic damage for 6 mana is very cost efficient. For the life team, we really have 2 cards that I would say are quite strong. The first is the Temporal Master. If we look at this card under life, it is a 3 mana cost epic card, and what is nice about this card is just the value that you're getting here. You're getting 2 magic damage for 3 mana. If you compare this to the Magi of the Forest on the Earth team, which is a fantastic card, that's 4 mana cost for the same equivalent magic damage. So you're getting great value there already, and then you're also getting recharge on top of that. So if you can imagine in the current meta for Earth, if you could get a Magi of the Forest for 3 mana instead of 4, but that Magi of the Forest would do 4 magic damage every other turn, that's tremendous value any way you slice or dice it. Given the current meta, this is why I think this is a value card and should be really a staple of any life magic team, which is already a strong team as it exists today. The second card I want to talk about is the Prismologist for life. This is an 8 mana cost card, and if we look at the Prismologist here as an epic card for the life team, for 8 mana, you're essentially getting similar damage to a Mythica Headhunter, right? A Mythica Headhunter on the Earth team today is 8 mana cost for archery damage, but you're also getting 2 shields, 5 health, and here's the beautiful part, you're getting blast. So imagine getting a Mythica Headhunter with blast, essentially, and this is what you're getting on the life team. And the life's new summoner, General Sloan, is going to bump that to 5 archery damage with blast. Really strong. The force field is just a nice bonus on top of that. So again, comparably to what we have in the game today, this is a fantastic bargain for effectiveness. And let's just take a look at the Mythica Headhunter so you can see what I'm referring to there. Again, Mythica Headhunter base here, 8 mana for archery damage, no blast. I mean, obviously as it goes up here, it's going to be 6 magic damage at gold max level with piercing. So it is, certainly very strong. This is why this card is great. It's doing 6 magic damage with piercing, or 6 archery damage with piercing, whereas the Prismologist will be doing 5 archery damage with blast. So very strong, very good card. The Mythica Headhunter, I think most players would love to have a max level gold copy of that to have to play. So that is a good card for the Prismologist. Going to water, we have the Wave Brood. This is going to be another fantastic card for Chaos Legion, meta defining. If we look at the Wave Brood at max level gold, for getting 8 mana, you have 2 close range archery damage that you're getting, plus the taunt, the self heal, and void. So this is an all around great card. You can certainly double or triple heal this. The taunt is going to make it stick around. It can be placed at the front of the battle. It can be placed at the back. It has 14 health to be self-healed and also supplementary healed. And it has void, so magic damage will be certainly impacted there as well. So a great card. You will definitely be seeing this on the battlefield on the Earth side moving forward frequently. The next is the Diamond Shark for the water team at 8 mana as well. you have a rare card, and here you just have a very strong tank. At 8 mana, you have 3 melee damage with 4 speed, 6 shields, and 10 hearts. So all the way around, that's a fantastic stat line just by itself. You add trample on top of that, plus enrage, with the melee attack damage going up, the speed going up. With Kelia already adding speed, you have a very fast, very robust, very shielded frontline tank that can do damage, and you can back it up with certainly options on the tank heal and the repair side, making this a very durable unit that can put out a very good amount of offense. The last one for water I want to talk about today is the Guardian here. The Guardian is a 3 mana cost card. So the Murdali Guardian rare combined, we just talked about this, combining with the Diamond Shark as an example. For 3 mana cost, yes, you're not getting any offensive output from this card at 3 mana, but you are getting a tank heal and a repair. So you can see how, combined with the Diamond Shark as an example, this card would be extremely synergistic and extremely powerful as a 1-2 punch. The repair with the tank heal on that card is going to be a force multiplier. I think you see this combination frequently in melee-based water meta teams moving forward. Now we're going to go to neutral cards. Neutral cards in Chaos Legion are very, very strong. Let's start with the Monk here. Get the Zenith Monk for 4 mana cost as a rare. This is a extremely cost-effective card for 4 mana. You're getting 2 melee attack damage, 4 speed, 7 hearts. On paper, doesn't seem super strong, but you look at the abilities, you've got a self-heal and void. So this tank can be effective if you use it as a low-cost tank for against magic teams. It's fast already with 4 speed. It has a good amount of health. Let's just compare the Zenith Monk as an example to the Haunted Spirit on the Death team, which is already a fantastic card. So if we look at the Haunted Spirit for Death, the Haunted Spirit is going to be 1 extra mana. It'll have 1 extra damage, 1 less speed, a little bit extra health, but you're getting void. So you're getting less mana, more cost efficient. I think the Zenith Monk is a great neutral card that you can pretty much swap into any team for a very efficient low mana battle or mid mana battle where you just want to have bargain tank abilities. You could even use him as a cheap off tank in many cases, and he will hold his own. So I think an undervalued card with it being neutral. The Chaos Agent, again, wow, this card, you may not think this is a great card on paper, but I would beg to differ. This is a common card at level 8, max level gold. For 1 mana, you have 5 speed, dodge, and phase with 4 hearts, and you're thinking maybe, well, this card isn't that great. For 1 mana, I guess I throw him in. But let's do a hypothetical scenario. If you look at the Pelacor Conjurer, which is 2 mana for the life team, already a great card. This card is cheaper than that. It has effectively 5 speed plus dodge and phase, so it's going to also dodge magic attacks. This is a superior card to the Pelacor Conjurer. We already know how valuable that card is to help the life team. And this is a neutral card, so it can be used in any splinter at low mana or mid mana, or just to throw in an off tank or a cheap tank up front to take a couple turns of attacks potentially. this card, in my mind, is going to be an MVP. I'm predicting this to be the next Furious Chicken for this game. This card is going to be fantastic. Book it. All right, also for neutral, we have the Gem Meteor, also very worthy of your marketplace consideration. This is an epic card, 5 mana. You have 3 archery damage, 5 speed, 4 health, scatter shot, and blast. Being a neutral card, having scatter shot, which can hit all over your opponent's lineup, causing havoc with blast, with 3 base archery damage. This card is a very useful card that you would consider putting in to your lineup pretty much potentially in any scenario, just because of its ability to cause chaos in your opponent's line with that scatter shot and blast damage. Definitely a very good card. We also have the Venari Spellsmith. This card is really good because at level 1 you're getting Amplify, which is a great bargain, but you're also getting here 2 magic damage in addition to that Amplify. So imagine using this Spellsmith with Mylor, with Ouster. You're getting tremendous value for the Amplify. You also get the Redemption just as a bonus, but you're also getting 2 magic damage on top of this. So it's not just a support card, it can actually contribute to the battle as well. For this very reason, I think the neutral card of the Venari Spellsmith is great value, even if you just pick up a level 1 version of him, just to get the Amplify in your lineups where you have like an Ouster or a Mylor. Will add a force multiplier to that team at a very low cost. And last, we have the Scabble Hireling on the neutral side at 3 mana cost, common at max level gold. You're getting, again, tremendous support ability. You're getting Repair and Triage for 3 mana for your team. This is a great combination to make sure that you stay in the battle. And even though this card does not do damage, it's a low mana cost card with Camouflage that's going to stay alive and add certainly survivability to your team. And if your team is on the field doing damage, chances are you've got a much higher chance to win that match. So again, a force multiplier neutral that can be used in any lineup, a very strong card. For dragons, pretty much all the dragon cards are going to be amazing here in Chaos Legion, certainly worthy of picking up if you can afford them. The Void Dragon, we'll look at this very quickly. The Void Dragon is certainly, in my mind, my favorite here. At gold max level, for 5 mana, you have superior speed at 5 speed with flight. You have Void, you have Phase, you have Dodge. That's a great combination for 5 mana. The Void with the Phase and the Dodge, the high speed and the flight. You couldn't really ask for a better defensive card. You're going to be doing damage, albeit it's only 1 magic damage, but that's fine. You have 8 hearts to go along with all that dodgy goodness, and because it has the anti-magic pieces there, against any opponent that doesn't have True Strike, this card is going to be certainly very frustrating to go against. Great utility, and for 5 mana, wow, that's a good card. The other card, the Chaos Dragon, here, 14 mana, certainly expensive, but you get a lot of bang for your buck here. All around a great card. You have Flight, reasonable speed at 3 speed. You have Blind against your opponents. And then here is what makes this card fantastic. You've got Scatter Shot with Blast with 3 magic damage. That is just a very efficient damaging card. It's going to stick around because it has 4 shield and 12 health. So this card, if you can fit it in, certainly a 99 mana battle, it's going to definitely provide value for your team. And then the last dragon card I'm going to talk about is a Desert Dragon. This is a monster of a melee card. For 7 mana, you have 5 base melee damage with piercing, with retaliate, 3 shield, 7 hearts, and trample. So this is really, in my mind, kind of like a Jin Chihuahua on steroids. And a different variation. Instead of enrage, you have retaliate here at this max gold level. You have piercing to make sure that you're doing max damage, and you have trample. So this is a very good card. Jin Chihuahua is already a great card. This card, in my mind, is even better and a great addition to any dragon team. The last thing we'll talk about are the fiends. Just really briefly, what I did here with the fiends is I kind of ranked them as amazing, that had great synergy with summoners or opponents, affecting all opponents. And here, all of these legendary fiends you're going to want to get in some form or fashion. Really, when you get to diamond and above is when their abilities kick in. So the Scorch Fiend is, in my mind, the most valuable because it's going to provide speed at max level and speed kills in this game. And the second one we want to talk about is the Earth Summoner, because it does the opposite, right? It slows. So again, this impacts every opponent on the opposing team, slow in speed. So that's why, in my mind, they're very valuable. And Death is the third one I want to mention, because the Death Corpse Fiend has the ability to essentially put a double silence on to your opponent every battle if using the new Death Summoner Thaddeus Brood. So that is also very strong to have in your back pocket with the Death team. So there you have it, boys and ghouls, a quick rundown of the big carry cards, upcoming meta, certainly marketplace cards that you're going to want to check out in the next 24 hours. I'm going to leave the card tier list link in the video description below, so check that out. If you have any comments or feedback for me, let me know in the comments below as well. I hope this video has been informative. If it has, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more timely updates that matter to you in the community of Splinterlands. And until next time, keep stacking those stats.